Have you ever noticed parts of an airplane wing extending or folding during takeoff or landing? Those moving parts are called flaps, and they play a major role in how an aircraft handles at lower speeds. In today's video, we're going to unpack exactly how flaps work, why they're used, and what happens if they fail. Whether you're a future pilot or just fascinated by flight, this video is your complete guide to flap. Flaps are movable panels located on the trailing edge of the wing, closer to the fuselage. Their main job? To increase lift at lower speeds. When flaps are extended, the wing's shape changes. It becomes more curved and increases in surface area. This gives the aircraft more lift at slower speeds, which is essential during takeoff and especially during landing. After takeoff, you'll notice that the flaps remain extended for a short time. This is because during the initial climb, the aircraft still needs that extra lift to gain altitude safely. But once it reaches a certain speed and altitude, defined in the aircraft's performance charts, the flaps are gradually retracted, step by step. Why? Because while flaps help with lift, they also create a lot of drag. And once that extra lift is no longer needed, leaving the flaps out will only slow the aircraft down and increase fuel consumption. Retracting the flaps transitions the aircraft into what pilots call a clean configuration, where all control surfaces are streamlined, drag is minimized, and the plane can climb more efficiently. At this point, the pilots focus on maintaining the correct climb profile, adjusting engine performance, and preparing for the cruise phase ahead. It may seem like a simple movement on the wing, but retracting the flaps at the right time plays a critical role in achieving a smooth, efficient, and safe flight. So now you've seen how flaps work during takeoff, extended for lift, and retracted once the aircraft climbs safely. But did you know there are different types of flaps, each with its own unique design and function? Let's take a closer look at the most common flap types used in aviation, and how each one helps an aircraft perform better during takeoff and landing. So, let's talk about the 4 main types of aircraft flaps you'll see in aviation. First, we have plain flaps, the simplest type. They just hinge downward from the wing to increase lift. Then there are split flaps. These deflect only from the lower surface of the wing and create a lot more drag. Next is the slotted flap, a more advanced design that allows air to flow through a gap between the wing and the flap, which helps delay the stall and improves lift. And finally, we have Fowler flaps. These not only move downward but also slide backward, increasing both the wing area and lift significantly. Most modern aircraft, especially commercial airliners, use slotted or Fowler flaps because they offer the best performance during takeoff and landing. Pilots extend flaps during takeoff to allow the aircraft to lift off sooner, especially on short runways. During landing, flaps are used more extensively. They allow the aircraft to fly slower without stalling, giving pilots more control during final approach. Also, the drag created by flaps helps the aircraft descend more steeply, which is often needed in short or obstacle-filled approaches. Flaps aren't just on or off, they're deployed in degrees. Common settings include 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, and full flaps, 30 degree to 40 degrees, depending on the aircraft. Pilots choose flap settings depending on aircraft weight, runway length, wind conditions, approach path. Ever heard of flaps up landing? It's rare but happens during flap failure. In such cases, pilots land at a higher speed, needing longer runway distance. Training teaches them to handle such situations with precision and preparation. So next time you watch those panels moving on the wing, you'll know they're not just parts of a cool mechanism. They're one of the most vital flight control systems. Understanding how flaps work is essential for any pilot and fascinating for any aviation lover. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Flyway Aviation, your educational gateway to the skies. See you in the next lesson.